Hello and welcome to EV Review Ireland. My name is Reilly. Today we're looking at the Jaguar I-PACE, specifically the Black Edition, and this video is in partnership with Insta360, which is this little 360 camera that I'm going to use to film some of the shots in this video. I'll put up on the screen what way I've done the shot, but I will have a separate video totally describing how to use this Insta360 when you're reviewing a car. But let's get straight into it. I've wanted to review this car for a couple of years and I finally got my hands on it. This is a Black Edition, so there's two editions in Ireland. There is the regular I-PACE and then there's a Black Edition. Depending on the market, you may get a SE or a HSE version, but two versions here in Ireland, and you'll know it's a Black Edition from a couple of different styling cues from around the car itself. You will have an all black grille, so a surround and also the elements of the black part of it as well. This grille is unique because it has a cut through that comes right the way up into here and comes out into here, given a drag coefficient of 0.29, and everything else around the car is all black as well. So you've got active air underneath. This is actually closed off. You've got your glass black along here. You've got your active side curtains with your glass black along the side. LED lights, and then you can spec matrix ones. There is a frunk inside that. We'll talk about that in a second. These are the 20-inch glass black alloys that you can get. You can spec up to 22-inch with an optional extra, and they're about €4,500. Your charging port is on the front left side, no matter what side the steering wheel is on, and that has AC/DC, AC up to 11 kilowatt, DC up to 100 kilowatt, and we'll talk about that when we're out charging. I better do it now in case I forget. AC 11 kilowatts is great, but you may not have it at your house, so overnight it'll take about 13 hours to charge this from 0 to full. And then on DC, you're going to get about 100 kilometers every 15 minutes if you can get a 100 kilowatt plus DC charger. Glass black detailing along the side. You've got your wing mirrors in glass black that are retractable with the indicator built into it. You've got your retractable body colored, and they're hinged at the front, which I didn't think they were going to be, because they pop out straight away to you. You've got your privacy glass in the Black Edition, and you also have your panoramic sunroof. This is active air suspension as well, so very nice style-wise. Won a couple of awards when it came out in 2019, one of them being World Car of the Year, another World Green Car of the Year, so it was ahead of its time. Even with the Kia EV6 now coming out, a lot of the people commented on that video. I've done a couple of videos on the Kia EV6, how the style of it is very reminiscent of the Jaguar I-PACE. This sometimes gets forgotten about, and I don't think it's fair, because it set the trend. It was one of the first ground-up EVs taking Tesla out of the way. Competition, you're talking your Audi e-tron, your Mercedes EQC, your BMW iX3, but overall, from this angle, from all angles, to my opinion, in my opinion, I think it's a stunning looking car. And this Black Edition with the glass black elements, really nice. Let's have a look along the back. Moving down along the back, and again, similar to the high-end Ioniq 5 and the Kia EV6, this doesn't have a rear wiper, but they have a coating on it, and to be honest, it seems to have worked over the weekend that I've had it. It has a top spoiler, and they say that it funnels the air down, and it has a rear lip spoiler on the back of the boot as well. You've got your I-PACE on the left, you've got your leaping Jag in the middle, and then you've got your EV40 all-wheel drive. All of the Jaguar I-PACEs are all-wheel drive, and the 400, is it to do with the PS? Is it to do with the brake horsepower? Because the PS is 400 PS, the brake horsepower is nearly 400 brake horsepower, but it is a powerful car. 0 to 100 in 4.8 seconds. You can get gesture control. This model doesn't have it, but it does have a electronic tailgate. On Jaguar's website, they give dry and wet literage. So just over 500 litres dry, over 620 odd litres wet. And you have a subfloor in underneath there as well for your cables. It has a 40-20-40 split. It has some coat hooks. It has a 12 volt. It has some tie-off points and some rubber straps as well. Decent sized boot and pretty well laid out, and I like the size of it as well, and it has that parcel cover as well. Some more glass black elements in underneath, the rear diffuser. Let's have a look on the inside. What's it like on the inside of the Jaguar I-PACE? Good big size door, good build quality. This isn't built by Jaguar themselves, it's subcontracted out to a specialist called Magna. They have the Jaguar sill plate. Interior, great clunk. Interior wise, they have a couple of different options, light or dark. I think it's called ebony and I think this is called pearl, or could be ivory. Ebony and ivory. Both models have, both trim levels in Ireland have the Meridian system, 11 speakers, or you can upgrade that to a 16 speaker, more powerful model. 3 memory presets. You've got your central locking, and you've got all your electric adjustable windows and wing mirrors, and you can lock the windows in the rear for people if you don't want them to open up. Large 3-spoke style steering wheel, and on that then you have, and it's push button to start, you have your voice elements and your sound on the left hand side with a thumb scroll wheel, and on the right hand side you've got your cruise control, etc., your heated steering wheel part of it. Left hand stalk is lights and indicators, right hand stalk is window wipers, etc. Over my right knee is you can open the frunk, you can open the boot, and there's the handbrake element of it as well, and you can raise the headlight level. In behind the steering wheel you're looking at a 12.3-inch digital TFT display. Left hand side is your speed and what mode you're in, and then on the right hand side then whether you're taking charge to or from the battery. You can have your trip summary up there. You can have a number of different elements in that display. The buttons on the steering wheel, let's revert back to them, as much as they're gloss black and you'd think they were haptic, they're actually physical buttons that you have to press in, which is good. I like that. You can get a head-up display. Moving over then, you've got your 10-inch Privy Pro system that's across all of the Jaguar Land Rover, and this has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Decent enough. A lot of menus in there, but yeah, I'm happy enough with it. It took me a couple of minutes to set up my profile and also to link in my phone. Underneath that then you've got your on-off and your volume rocker, your hazard lights, and your start-stop. Lot of fingerprinty areas. The metal is nice, but it does attract a lot of fingerprints, and the slant on the screen, good. But again, dust and fingerprints, and I only have this 5 or 6 days and it's already dusty and fingerprinty, and it's only me getting in and out of it. There are some panels around the place and over in front of the passenger side and on the doors. So this is gloss black currently. You can get a monogram aluminium, kind of a silver effect. You can get, I think it's a walnut, and then you can upgrade it to a carbon fiber. So you can change the interior elements of it. Moving down then to your heating and ventilation system, you have turn knobs for the temperature. It's dual zone, and if you press them in you can have the 3-level heated seats. You can get a little dual screen display for down here for an extra €400 or €500, and that will give you, rather than touch panels and buttons. Underneath that then you have on the left hand side your drive mode, so you have your eco, sport and comfort, and you also have the ability to put it into what do they call it, rain, ice, snow mode. And then you have your speed limiting, you have traction control off, and because it says the adaptive air suspension, you have the ability to raise and lower the actual, that's me going up, that's me going down. On the right hand side you've got your drive, neutral, reverse. You've got a nice little pocket in underneath here. You can get a wireless charger. Let me have a look to see if it is on this one. It doesn't say it is, but that's where it goes if it is anyway. You've got 2 size cup holders. Water bottle won't fit in the small ones, more for a coffee cup, but it will fit in nice and snug in the big one. And then you have a decent size armrest storage unit with a 12 volt and USB type A and a USB type C. Seats are lovely, and you've got your Jaguar element embossed on the headrest. Up top you've got that panoramic sunroof on the Black Edition. You have your sunglass holders, you've got your reading lights and your SOS buttons. You have 2 Meridian sound speakers above it as well. Wing mirror, sun visor with light. Nice. Well spec'd out, well fitted. A bit too much gloss black for my liking, but you can change that to silver, to wood, or to carbon fiber. For a car that was designed and came to market in 2019, it's as good, if not better, than some of them that are already out there. There's a nice mix of touch, of tactile buttons. It's very well made. No squeaks or rattles. Great visibility. That is a heated windscreen as well. I'm 188 centimeters, 6'2". I'll set the seat for me. Because this is a bespoke electric vehicle platform, I'm expecting good things from sitting in the back. But let's jump into the back and then we'll take it out for a drive. It's a bit dark back here because of that privacy glass, and that panoramic sunroof is a bit tinted. But space-wise, you're talking a couple of centimetres between my knees and the actual back of the seat. You've got your magazine holders. Seats are nice and not too restrictive in visibility-wise. Because it's dual zone, you don't have any controls back here for it, but you do have two USB type C's and a 12 volt. Not a totally flat floor, but not far off. Good size space in the back. Decent size. No, not actually. Pretty small because of those sounds. So they've gone with sound more so than space, which is probably a decent thing as well. Two Isofix in the rear. You have your central armrest. You have your cup holders, and then you can also knock down this chair. There we go. In that 20-40-20 split, which is really good if you want to put something along through. Seats are good, heads are good. Oh, there's nice lights back here as well. Very good. Coat hooks. Your ventilation is in the B pillar. Very similar to a Kia EV6. And you've got your charging points in your center console. Yeah, good space. Bench is probably a small bit. No, actually, it's not bad at all. And head height, because the panoramic sunroof comes back, you're talking, for me, 4-5 centimeters. Let's take it out for a spin. What's it like driving the Jaguar I-PACE? It's probably one of the best electric cars I've ever driven. Don't know how they've done it, but they put a lot of thought into it. It is 50-50 weight distribution, so it's all-wheel drive. There is an electric motor on the front and on the rear. It has nearly 400 brake horsepower, 400 PS, and nearly 700 newton meters of torque. It has, even with these 20-inch alloys on it, it's still, like, that was cobblestones back there. Now, there is active air suspension in this, so that will help, obviously, and it does lower the vehicle when it goes on higher speeds as well. So there's the benefits of both sides of it. Greater ground clearance if you do need it. I can't see this going off-road too often, but it is, like, this is not a great stretch of street, and it's handling it very well. Lovely drive. Steering wheel is probably a bit on the big side, but that's to accommodate this large 12-inch screen behind it. I wonder what the wading depth is after that massive puddle back there. The seats are comfortable. The pickup is good. There's very little wrong with this car. Price is probably, it's on the expensive side. It is starting off mid to late 70s, and this one with the optional colour, and I think it has the optional air suspension on it as well. I think that's optional. It is up around 83,000 euros. So it's not cheap, but you're up against the likes of the e-tron, you're up against the likes of the BMW iX3, you're up against the Mercedes EQC, and all within a good, all within that price bracket. And they're all excellent electric vehicles in my opinion. They are expensive, but you get what you pay for. And in the Jaguar, apologies, I don't mean to call it Jag. In the Jaguar, you are getting it, there are no corners cut in my opinion. There's another one charging there. At the new DC fast charger is a 191. So with that 400 brake horsepower, you're going to be getting 0 to 100 kilometers in 4.8 seconds. So it's well able to match the best of them. One area that the Jaguar I-PACE probably doesn't excel in is its efficiency. It has a 90 kilowatt hour battery, 84.7 kilowatts hour of that are usable. On the website, it's saying numbers of kilowatts per 100 kilometers is between 22 and 25. This has a trip summary of around 1,500 kilometers, and it's doing 26.9. So that's what I've driven this week, and also previous people reviewing it. So it's a bit on the heavy side and with regards to usage, but also in its own weight at around just over 2,600 kilograms, so over 2.5 tons. So it's a big car, but like any size SUV in electric, you're going to be getting a lot of that in battery weight. You're going to be getting a lot of that just the overall heft and size of it. We've already talked about the charging and it being 11 kilowatt on AC, which is great, and on DC then up to 100 kilowatts. Some people like faster DC charging, but like you're going to be doing well to be finding over 100 kilowatt plus DC fast chargers in Ireland. So on a 50 kilowatt to go from 10 to 80% is going to take about 85 minutes. So it's still, you're going to get enough to get you to the next place that you're going to go. Don't have head-up display on this model, and I'm okay with that. This comes in 12 different colors, 2 solids, the white and the red, and there's no extra cost for those. And then 10 metallics with 2 premium metallics. So this Celestian Blue, I think it's called, or Celestial Blue, it sits in the middle, so you pay for it. But it's not the most premium color that's available. WLTP is about 430 odd, and EV Database has given it a real world range of about 380, and I'm getting that. When I got in and it was full battery, it was up in the high 300s. That'll all depend on the outside temperature, how you drive it, and if you're new to the world of EVs, there is a huge disparity there with regards to what's claimed versus what you actually do, and the time of year and how you're driving city versus motorway or highway. But overall, let me know in the comments what you think of the Jaguar I-PACE, and specifically this Black Edition, whether you'd be a fan of the blacked out elements or you'd prefer those silver/chrome elements. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's review. If you can leave a like, make sure you leave a comment and share, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. And remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thank you very much for watching.